From the second that Marvel Rivals was announced, Overwatch and this game have been pitted together viciously. And one thing I keep seeing crop up is character designs. People comparing Marvel Rivals character designs to other Marvel games, but also people comparing Marvel's character designs to Overwatch. So I wanted to talk about the differences, compare and contrast. So first, I want to talk about my criteria for what makes a good character design and just general criteria. I have a background in character art and character design and game art, so I wanted to put in my 2 cents. First off, what makes a good character design is like silhouette, and then there's like the 70-30 rule where like 70% of the design is detailed, while 30% isn't, to create focal points, or vice versa. You can also do this with colors. And then of course there's silhouette. Sonic the Hedgehog is a good example of this. He's so recognizable from his silhouette. If you just like, he's like a shadow, you know it's Sonic still. Now, one thing that doesn't inherently make a good character design that a lot of people are confused about is sexiness. I know, this is gonna be a harsh take for some of you guys, but being sexy does not inherently make it a better design. I saw something that was like, Western Hestia versus Eastern Hestia, and it showed like Hestia from the Hades game and Hestia from an anime. I'll flash up the name, I can't remember it right now. And it's like, okay, anime Hestia doesn't look like Hestia. Hestia is a virgin goddess for one, so it doesn't make sense for her to be like overly sexy. And also, she's a goddess of the hearth and the home. What about that design gives hearth and the home? Like, there's some motifs that kind of look like fire, but otherwise, like, she's blue and she's white. That's not fire, and she looks like a young anime girl. There's nothing about that gives hearth in the home. So what I'm trying to say is, like, you gotta look at a design and be able to tell. Like, if you look at Hades Hestia, she looks like an older, sweet lady. She's got a fire motif. So having, like, you know, kind of motherly, kind of homely, like that, I think that works. So yeah, that's my main criteria, I think, is how well it communicates. Because Blizzard and NetEase, their character designs are really good technically. Like, they are industry giants, at least Blizzard is. And so they are gonna know the visual hierarchies and the big, medium, smalls and the 70-30 rules. Those are all executed pretty darn well, but it's the general interestingness of the designs and how well they communicate that are my big criterias. I wanted to show off 3 Overwatch designs I like, 3 I don't like, and do the same thing with Marvel Rivals. So I want to isolate them, and then I'll look at them together. I'll compare and contrast them. So first off, for an Overwatch design I chose d.va. I know I said like sexy is inherently a good design, but a good design can be sexy. And with d.va, you look at her, you know what's going on. I'm including her mech in this design because it's just like so integral. You see it, you never see her without it. So you see cute young lady in a big ass mech, and you already know her exact vibe. It is like clear cut that she is, you know, super, probably very cutesy, maybe a little sassy, and she can knock your teeth in. She's just, you can tell like that. There are subtleties in her character where she's like, on the surface, maybe a bit shallow seeming, and then she's got some depth, but that doesn't really need to be communicated super quickly in the design. Overwatch and Blizzard, they know design, they know character design. So Soldier also clearly shows like he's an older man, but he's got like a ruggedness to him, you know, he's like, the Overwatch one, he's got that face mask and he's got that scar, but he also has those bright colors. And to me, the 76 on the back of his jacket, it reminds me of a varsity jacket, like an older gentleman who's trying to relive the glory days a little bit. It's so good. I love his design because it really gives like, yeah, I'm a hardened guy, but I also believe in good and might be a little bit altruistic, maybe a little black and white thoughted, maybe. I think it just like tells you. I love it. Zenyatta is also a really good design because for one, it's intriguing. You've got a robot that looks like a monk. Huh? How is that working? Does he have enough emotions to like deal with that sort of thing? And he's so intriguing. And I feel like Zenyatta is the design for Overwatch because so much of Overwatch's story is about Omnics and their sentience and the conflicts involving them. So Zenyatta is such a good design to just quickly portray what the hell is going on, who he is, his importance to the story. He looks like a good guy. It's so good. It's so good. So for bad Overwatch designs, they're all gonna be Overwatch 2 designs. Hazard, he's fine. He's attractive, like he gets what he needs across, but it doesn't do it as well as it could have. Yeah, he looks punkish. Yeah, he's got the spikes on his back, so he looks kind of experimented on, a little unnatural. But he's so clean. I would have loved a little bit of messier hair, maybe like more piercings. I want more punk. He looks like fabricated punk. I don't know, you need a messiness to his design that he's just missing. I would love some scarring, maybe more tattoos, maybe shredded clothes, patches with like in-world political things. He's just missing something, and he could have so much more. Sojourn, I had no idea who the hell this character was when I first saw her. I couldn't tell what her deal was. She just kind of was like, is this just girl soldier? What is going on with this character? And like, it kind of doesn't help that when you look into who she is, she's a nothing burger of a character. And I don't know, she's just got these like flat beige colors that don't really do anything. She's got these weird shorts. They're just, I don't know, I don't like the shorts. I don't like them. There is a tacticalness to her design, but it's boring. She's so boring. And then there's Baptiste. Also doesn't tell me shit. And he looks so generic. He could be from fucking Apex. He could be from Concord. I know he doesn't have a lot of like the detailing and he's a different art style, but genuinely I think he would fit in a Concord, which isn't a compliment. It gives battle, and I think it could give a little bit medic. But I don't know, I don't like the boring militaristic designs. With such wacky characters, like Soldier 76, yeah, looks like the basic soldier, but he's got the bright colors, he's got the 76 on his back. It's interesting. Reaper's a soldier, but he looks like a Grim Reaper. That's sick. And then Baptiste and Sojourn are just like, okay, whatever. There's no gimmick to it. And every character in Overwatch is cool because they have a gimmick. They have an animal or just like a vibe. And they just don't. For some like fence sitters and honor, I didn't know if I wanted to put them in good or bad designs. I hate to say this because she's my favorite Overwatch character lore-wise, and she's hot. But Widow, she's like fine, but she doesn't give spider. Like, you have to know her spider theme to see her spider motifs. And like, I would love a little more spider to her. That'd be cool. And I hate the pink. I don't like the pink suit on the original. I do think the second one is generally an improvement. And I do like her. She does like give assassin pretty well. And there's something wrong with her. She's purple. She's a little generic. Like, you see so many of these femme fatale assassin-y types with their tits out. You've got the fucking sniper wolves. You got the quiets. You got the Evelyn from League of Legends. It's done. And like, I love that archetype. I don't know. I guess the spider does do something unique with it. And she's not a bad design. But I do think there's something that could be shaken up there. I don't know. And then Junkrat. I prefer the wild look on his Overwatch 1 design. I mean, the hair on fire, the fact that he's balding in the like shredded clothes. I love that. But I prefer the colors of Overwatch 2. I prefer him with brighter colors that look like an explosion. But Overwatch 2, I saw a meme that said like, they gentrified my boy. They did! He looks so clean. He's got that slick back hair and stuff. He needs to be dirtier. I think that's something I need with my characters in Overwatch, is like Junkrat and Hazard, and like they don't look dirty enough. I would love some dirt. And like, Venture's pretty good. Like, they give off fucking crusty little creature. I don't know what's going on with the back of their jacket though. Their design is fine. I like it enough. They need more skins, but you know, that's just me. Also, not in the game yet. But Freya looks like a Genshin Impact character. Oh my god. Like, she's got, like, the weird, like, cut-off shorts and the thigh highs. She's so attractive. I like, oh my god, she's so hot. But she's so boring, you know? There needs to be more. There's no really, like, catch to her design. She just looks like redhead Widowmaker. I don't know. Also, this video took like forever to make. Also, new mic and new VTuber model. So like, you should like and subscribe to make it so I can make more of these. All right, bye. So for the first Rivals design, I honestly really like is Thor. Now, it was tough because all of these characters have decades of iconography behind them. So it's hard to think about, oh, can this communicate properly? While ignoring that I know what it's communicating because I've seen it for so long. But also, like, a lot of communication of design relies on background knowledge. I don't know. But I try to, like, cast, you know, knowing the characters already out of my head and just look at what they communicate. And Thor, I think, does a really good job, especially Rivals Thor. For one, he's gorgeous. I mean, he's so gorgeous. And also, you know, Norse warriors, like I'll allow that. He looks like a Viking, and he's huge and he's regal, and I'll count the lightning as part of his design. He looks like a lightning god. I feel like it's not unreasonable to think someone could look at that design and think, oh, that's a lightning god. He's so cool. He's just really well designed. I don't know. He's perfect. I no notes. Squirrel Girl looks really cute and fun. Like, you look at her and you're like, oh, she looks like a squirrel. She looks like a cute girl. She looks a little strong too. She's got that thickness to her. She's adorable, and she communicates her personality. And the fact that she's like kind of a joke character, they communicate it so well. And then I was looking through. I was like, I don't know which healer design to choose, because they're all so good. I don't know. I ended up going for Mantis, because I feel like Mantis, I mean, for one, it's a very unique take on the character, because Mantis has had a very interesting history with all of her designs, but our Mantis, she gives that, like, mystical kind of weird vibe, a little bit alien, but also kind of planty. She seems to have a bit of a planty vibe about her, very, like, life energy, you know? So she's just, that's so quick to understand that she's mystical, she's alien, she's nature. Very nice. For the 3 Bad Rivals designs, I scoured. I kept looking. I was like, there's gotta be one that I don't like. There's gonna be one that, I don't know. I found Magneto. Magneto, I feel like if you cast all the ideas of who Magneto is, I don't know, he doesn't really communicate much. He gives King, which I think is fitting for the lore that he has in the game. His colors are so boring. Gray Magneto. I hate it. I'm sorry. He needs to be red and purple, because I love that design, but it just doesn't give comic book. It doesn't give mutant. It just gives medieval king, you know? Adam Warlock, I didn't really know who he was, because I didn't pay attention to his character in the 3rd Guardians of the Galaxy movie. And I hadn't gotten to him in the comics. I only read a little bit of the Guardians of the Galaxy comics like forever ago. So I didn't know who he was much. So I didn't really get a whole lot from his design. I did get enough. When he revived, that wasn't much of a stretch. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. He's a golden boy. He's probably an alien. But I don't really get anything else from him. A lot of it does make sense with his inherent character, but it doesn't really communicate. The only other critique I have of Marvel Rivals designs are that the women are kinda samey. Like, all of them. And I know this is a thing beat to death, but it is so boring when the men have, like the men of Rivals are a little samey as well. But we've got, like, the live men, like Spider-Man and Human Torch. You've got the buffer men, like Namor. And then you got the really buff guys, like, I mean, Hulk, and, like, Doctor Strange has this huge silhouette, like, all the tanks. And then the women are just curvy. Like, there's different kinds of curvy, but even, like, Psylocke and Invisible Woman have the same body type because they reused measurements from their model. I would love to see more body types for the women. And like, it's not that I'm against hot women. I love hot women. And that's not like what I'm trying to say. That seems to be a lot of people are like, what? Why don't you want women to be hot? I want women to be hot in more ways than one. Like, I've been seeing a lot of bashing of Junker Queen recently, and I'm like, Junker Queen is so attractive. What are you talking about? Buff as hell, but still with that tiny little waist. I hope when they add more female tanks, they start playing with the design. Because I do realize that the Marvel Rivals characters, they're helped by their previous existence, but also hindered by it. Because there's like a foundation, but you can't really break too far. So like a lot of the women from Marvel are gonna have the same body type because the eras they were made in, the reasons they were made and stuff. If they bring in She-Hulk, I don't want them to do what some She-Hulk artists do where they're just like, woman, but green. I want her to be buff. I want her to be huge. I want her to be kind of like Junker Queen. I want more interest in the character. Yeah, especially because like a lot of people are like, oh, such and such character should be a tank. And you gotta remember silhouettes. Silhouettes are so important. And that's part of why a lot of the samey female characters are annoying. Is because you're trying to play and you're like, is that Invisible Woman? Is that Dagger? And having more differing body types and silhouettes will also help with that. And honestly, like, Overwatch does have a similar thing, but Overwatch is broken out of it with, like, characters like Zarya and Mei, and even, like, you don't always have to make them larger. You have, like, thinner characters like Tracer, who's, like, she's very lithe. I think that's the word. She's, like, thinner. She's taller. Like, Jinx versus Caitlyn. They are both conventionally attractive and skinny, but they're different kind. So, yeah, that's my biggest critique. Is like Magneto's colors, and I would like more variation in the women. Is Marvel Rivals character design better than Overwatch, like a lot of people are saying? And I'm gonna have to say no, except for recently. Recently, yes. Overall, no. And I know we love to dog on Overwatch. I know. But if you look at my channel, you can see how much I fell in love with this game over the past year. It's my most played game on Steam. I was never able to play Overwatch as a kid, but I loved the lore. I would eat up the cinematics, the memes, the SFMs. I loved it so much, but I was never able to play because I couldn't afford it. And with Overwatch 2 becoming free and releasing on Steam, I was able to get into the world that I was only able to watch from the outside for so long. So I fell in love. I don't want to dog on Overwatch. I don't want to just be like, well, I'm moving to Rivals. You know, I'm done with Overwatch. Because I'm still new to Overwatch. I love the character designs. I love the stories. I haven't been able to play Overwatch recently. I keep opening it and I'm bored out of my mind. And it was the most fun game to me for like a year, maybe 2. I hope that Marvel Rivals makes Overwatch a competitor rather than beats it, because I would love to have Overwatch back to its glory days that I never got to experience. Making them fight each other for one to win is dumb. I want them to fight each other so that they both get better. And that's my moral of the story, is that we need to stop yelling at each other on Twitter. That will never happen, actually. We need to stop yelling at each other in other internet spaces. And let's enjoy our IPs together. Or if you don't like either IP, let's enjoy them separately, but have respect to one another, which will never happen on the internet, but I'm throwing my 2 cents out there. I'm saying peace and love in the face of bombs, and I'm expecting it to work. Yeah, I'm dumb and naive, but that's the moral of the story. Okay, I hope you have a good day.